welcome back to Blue Heart Crochet. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another video. I have just filmed a video, but there's going to be a video going up in between these, so yeah, this one's coming up on Monday. I'm planning, anyway, in my head, that this is going to go up on Monday. The video I'll have just filmed will have gone up on Wednesday. And yeah, but anyway, yeah, thought I'd come on and do this video. I got tagged by Judy at Witch Piece Craft to do the spring fling tag. Now I am very behind with my videos, so despite this video being Judy's video being filmed about 2 weeks ago, I've only just got to it now, or the other day. So yeah, I'm gonna take part in it. So again, with me being very late to the show, probably most people have done this tag. So if you haven't and you haven't been tagged, this is me tagging you. Because you're supposed to tag people. I have got the questions on my phone, so that's what I'm looking at. And there's 10 questions and it's all about spring, so let's get into it. So the first one, what do you like to do in spring that you can't do in other times of the year? Now this is a really hard one because none of my hobbies are sort of seasonal specific. There's not an I enjoy that is limited to springtime. So the only thing I can think of is eat mini eggs, because mini eggs are one of my favourite chocolates and you can only get them around Easter, which is in spring. So that's going to be like that for that. Number 2, what is your favourite springtime flower? Now my favourite flower in general is a tulip, but I don't know whether tulips are spring specific or like anything like that. But when I think of a springtime flower, my favourite one would be a daffodil, because my sister was born in March. It's her birthday on the day I'm filming this, but when my mum was having my younger sister, I was staying with my nan and granddad, and my nan went and let me go and pick out some daffodils from her front garden to go and give to my mum when we went to go and visit her in the hospital. And that was a big thing, because me and my cousins, we used to run rampage around that garden, and my poor nan, like bless her, the garden kept getting ruined, you know, because kids running around playing and all that. And so, you know, the fact that she was going, go on, pick some of my flowers, giving me permission, big thing there. And then I like daffodils because it always reminds me of that, but also because all the pictures of me meeting my sister for the first time in the hospital, I was 2.5 at that point, so obviously you do not just pass the 2.5-year-old the baby and go, there you go, you can hold it. You know, you do have sort of an adult making sure they're balancing the head and stuff like that. So in all the pictures, like just off to the side, you can either see my nan's hand or part of my nan in the bottom corner of the photo. So again, that reminds me of, so the daffodils remind me of those pictures as well. Yeah, so daffodils for that reason. Number 3, what is your favourite thing about spring? Now, for me, my favourite thing is seeing all the you know, greenery come back to the area. So where I live is suburbs of a city, so we're like on the outskirts of a city, so there's a lot of farmers fields around, and quite often around the farmers field there's bushes. There's some fields that, you know, walking in, and they've got, like, you know, all the trees there, and they are, you know, barren during the winter. You know, there's no leaves on them or anything like that, and I love this, seeing the leaves come back and colour in the surrounding area. Also, when I travel into the city centre on the bus, we go down a road where there's loads of these like blossom trees, and they always have these beautiful pink blossom flowers on there, and I just think it adds so much colour, and it's so bright and beautiful. And so that's what I love, is nature starting to regrow again and come back. Number 4, what is the weather like in your area? So it's a real mix with weather. You know, it's very hit or miss on what it is. So for the past few days, so wait, I'm trying to think of a good example. So Monday I came home from work, it was absolutely a beautiful, glorious day. I came home and we're in the garden and we're starting to, like, you know, jet wash the patio and stuff like that, get it all starting to get back in, ready to start planting the pots again in spring. And we couldn't get it all finished in that one evening, so the next day we're like, okay, we'll do it the next evening. But it was really badly raining the next day and it was colder, so, you know, we're like, okay, let's leave it. And that's what I mean, that's what the weather's like. Some days you get absolutely glorious days, some days it's miserable, and sometimes it can happen twice, like you can have both in one day, to the point where I woke up one morning, snow was a couple of inches high. I had to go and get a gift for my mum for Mother's Day. By the time I got home, there was no snow anywhere, and it was lovely and warm, and I was not wearing my coat anymore at this point. So it is like, it's very erratic, but you get nice days as well as the bad days. Number 5, when do you start a garden if you have one? So I decided a couple of years ago, this was, and I think it was around 2017, I wanted to start planting stuff in the garden again. I wanted to get the garden looking absolutely beautiful. Our front garden's pretty low maintenance. There's some shrubs that come back every year, you know, and it's grass and it just gets mowed every now and again. The back garden is mostly decking with a bit of artificial grass in there. But we do have quite a lot of plant pots, and I really wanted to get involved and start putting loads of stuff in these plant pots, and I wanted to start maybe putting some bedding flowers in the front garden in between these shrubs. And so I started to do that, and then that year I started having these symptoms, went to the pharmacy and was like, what can I take for this? And I'm like, it sounds like hay fever, and I've had hay fever ever since. I've never had hay fever up until that point that year when I wanted to start doing a bit of gardening. So I don't really do much gardening. My hay fever's not too bad to, like, if I, sounds terrible, but if I don't take like antihistamines and the drops and the sprays and all that sort of stuff, if I don't, it is really bad, and I have to have every window and door closed in the house and stuff like that. I have to shower the minute I get in, and because it does really affect me bad. But if, like, I've cracked ribs from sneezing, you know, it's a nightmare. But if I'm medicated, I'm okay. Then I can sort of sit in the back garden, because we don't have like the grass, the real grass in the back garden. I can sit in the back garden and just enjoy it, so it doesn't matter how many plants are in the back garden as long as it's not grass. So yeah, I can still enjoy the garden, but I'm very limited on what I do in the garden, because I don't want to jinx anything ever again. My dad takes it over there now, he loves it. Number 6, do you celebrate Easter? So yes, I grew up in a household where we were not religious, but I went to a Catholic school, and I've sort of found that faith helps me, and I am a Catholic. I don't go to church because there's not a church within walking distance, and on Easter Sunday buses that you can't, good luck trying to get one. So I don't, but I will do stuff like I'll read parts of my Bible, I'll read some of my religious books I've got, and things like that, and focus on what is the meaning of Easter, you know, and that sort of thing. But yeah, growing up, we do things like we get eggs and stuff like that. We still do get eggs, and we buy eggs for, you know, kids in the family and things like that. But yeah, that's really it. Good Friday, I remember my dad, he was brought up, like, obviously further back in generations, like, you're more likely to have people being more religious in the UK, and that. So my dad was brought up to be told you never eat meat on Good Friday, and at first I used to do it because, you know, that's what my dad does, but now I do it for, like, you know, religious reasons. But anyway, so yeah, we were told, you know, you don't eat meat on Good Friday, and this was also taught to us in school as well. And my mum's cousin was babysitting us one day, and gave us some cereal for breakfast, great, and he went to make us a ham sandwich for lunch, and he said, oh, what's it called, and he went, oh, do you want a ham sandwich? And I was like, I can't eat a ham sandwich, I can't eat meat, it's Good Friday. And he looked, and we didn't have like any cheese in the kitchen, and stuff like that. so he fed me cereal and toast and crisps all day, which was not the healthiest. We did have fruit as well, but you know, that was our meals. And my mum and dad came home from work and he was like, listen, I'm sorry that I've not fed your kids the best stuff today. It was like, but I couldn't think of anything that they could eat. And my mum's like, we had some cheese pizza in the freezer, we had fish fingers in the freezer. My parents had prepared to make sure they had stuff in for Good Friday, and his mind went blank. Everything he could think of had meat in it. I did tell him I could eat fish. Yeah, but anyway, that's just a little story from my growing up that I say, and I'm going to do it to his kids one time. I say that to him, but he lives in Australia now, so a bit hard to do that, babysitting his kids. So number 7, do you crochet or knit anything special for spring? No, I just basically yeah, I knit what I want, crochet what I want all year round. Doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be seasonal specific. Number 8, what's your favourite spring colour? So my favourite colours are pink and blue, but I think if I had to go for like a spring one that I like that reminds me of spring, I'd have to say either a pastel blue or maybe actually a light green, so a bit like them colours down there. Yeah, if I was picking like a springy colour. Do you spring clean? So not really, like we do deep cleans every now and again, but that's normally when we do a big deep clean before Christmas decorations go up, when they come down and things like that. And then just sometimes throughout the year we'll just end up doing a big clean, deep clean in the house. But no, not really. It doesn't have, I'm not like, oh, spring, gotta do a big clean. And yeah, the Christmas ones are the only ones where we definitely do a clean at that time of year. The rest, it's just when we've got a bit of time to devote to absolutely do it, like hitting the house and doing like, as you know, a really in-depth thing. Yeah, so that's more just whenever. Number 10, do you go anywhere for spring break? Not now, because like as an adult I don't have kids, so we don't have like, I don't have kids in spring break. When I was a kid myself, we used to have a caravan in North Wales, and we used to go down there most weekends, and then my parents would work it out in the holidays, so that for example with spring in the UK you generally get around 2 weeks off at Easter. So my parents would book the time so that maybe, you know, one would have the first week off, one would have the second week off, and maybe a few days in the middle where they'd cross over and they'd come down. So like whoever was off on the first week would take us down to Wales and we'd stay there. One parent would come down later in that week, then when the next one would start, when that first parent would start work again, they'd go back up and the other one would stay down with us. So we'd have like the full 2 weeks down in Wales. Our caravan was near a town in North Wales called Rhyl. I loved it. That we were talking about the caravan today actually, or yesterday, and I was just so lucky that my parents were able to have that for us growing up, because that was the best thing ever and I absolutely adored it. And I've got memories down there that I, you know, will treasure for a lifetime. I've got friends who, you know, I met down there who, you know, we don't see each other anymore, we may not speak to each other all the time, but you know, when, you know, you see something big happen on their Facebook page, you'll send them a message, you know, oh, congrats, and you know, that sort of thing. And yeah, it was my little paradise back then. So yeah, very lucky and fortunate about that. So that is all the questions. So thank you for coming and sticking with me, listening to me ramble on. So like I said, I'm not gonna tag anyone in specific because I think most people have done this tag, but if you haven't and you want to do it, I'm tagging you. I will also tag Judy in the description box below, so you can go and check out her channel, and I'll also put her tag in there as well. So yeah, anyway, I hope you all having a wonderful day, staying safe, taking care, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.